Our next speaker is Tammy, Arendse, a manager at Deloitte in the Tax Dispute and Controversy Management Division. Tammy is going to talk to us about recent trends in tax administration and systemic issues that have arisen in resolving tax disputes. Welcome, Tammy.
But essentially, what I would like to discuss is just some practical issues that we have been experiencing in tax disputes with SARS, and these are real live examples. I promise I haven't made these up. Just the overview of what we will be discussing is, in general, the tax dispute resolution climate, where we've been experiencing problems, for example, requests for reasons, notices of invalid objections, some issues around requests for corrections, and delivery and electronic communication with SARS, some major issues around penalty remission requests, and then some things to look out for with VDPs. So just some general comments. We all know that during the course of SARS's audit, they are able to request relevant material, and what we are seeing in practice is that the type of material being requested by SARS is more and more voluminous. For example, where you have an expenditure item, SARS often calls for all invoices to support that expenditure item as opposed to a sampling mechanism. And often standard audit methodologies are not followed. So whereas, again, not taking samples and asking for everything, or just not agreeing or believing the taxpayers' statements when they are clearly informed by supporting documents. So now, given that context and the landscape that we are operating, once we do get past the request for relevant material stage, and there's been an assessment issued, and now we need to request reasons, we all are aware that we are able to request reasons in terms of Rule 6. And once the reasons requested have been submitted and we go through the process, unfortunately, the types of responses we've been receiving from SARS is acknowledging our service request, wherein a letter of finalization of audit is attached. So no response to our request for reasons, or just a letter instructing the taxpayer to lodge an objection. And so, of course, we can't proceed with the dispute process without receiving a response to our objections. And often what we do practically is just resubmitting our request for reasons, which I put there, time periods are extended because now we have to wait another further period for SARS to come back to us. And whether or not we then receive the proper responses, often we don't know. Often it takes quite some time to get a response from SARS. I've put the Ombud and SSMO. I see Advocate Nakwane is here. Often we have taken these kinds of issues to the Tax Ombud and we've received success. So I am a huge advocate of going to the Tax Ombud when we experience problems. This is another major issue that we've been experiencing, notices of invalid objections. And I've put there, when your notice of invalid objection is in itself invalid, because as we all know, these are the requirements for a valid objection, so it must be in terms of the rules. We must put our grounds of objection, we must specify the amount, our grounds, and if there are any supporting documents that we've not previously provided to SARS, we must then attach them to our objection. And if e-filing is not used, we need to specify an address. We, of course, need to sign the prescribed form, but if this is on e-filing, then we don't need to, and then delivery within the 30-day period. So those are the requirements for a valid objection, and if we do not meet those requirements, SARS is within their right to declare the objection invalid. Unfortunately, the kinds of responses we have been receiving is that we'll get a notice saying that our objection is late and that no grounds to support the late condemnation was provided. But when you look to the merits of the actual objection, we've requested reasons,